Hey everybody, welcome to the Drinking Jay. My name's Jay and I make drinks. On today's episode, we're going to make a drink that's been around since 1806. Possibly one of the first cocktails ever developed. It's called the Old Fashioned. But before we get into making the drink, just want to remind you guys, if you like these videos, please go down below, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And with that, we're going to get right into this drink. Like I said, this drink's been around since the early 1800s, and it has almost infinite variations. But what they all have in common are three things. First, you have some sort of spirit. Most commonly used is either bourbon or rye. You can use either one of these. Either one works well. I still hadn't decided which one we're going to use today, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. The next thing they all have in common is some sort of sweetener. In this case today, we're going to be using simple syrup. Some people use a sugar cube. Some people use simple syrup. Just a matter of preference. The final thing that all of them have in common is some sort of bitters. A lot of people use Angostura. I prefer the Peychauds. Not sure how to say that. Comment below and let me know how to say it, because I'm pretty sure I'm not saying it right. But you got your bitters, your sweet, and your spirit. And that's pretty much it. It's not a real difficult drink to make. I tend to make it a little different than a lot of people. So I make mine in a mixing glass and then strain it into the glass I'm going to drink it out of. Most people just build it straight into the glass they're drinking out of, which is completely fine. I just do mine in a mixing glass because I do my orange part of it a little different than everybody else. So let's get right into making it, guys. First thing we need is our spirits. I think today I'm going to use the rye. Now this is High West double rye. Man, this is some good stuff right here. As far as bang for your buck goes, this is some of the best rye whiskey on the market. I really, really like it. And we're going to use 2 ounces of that. We're going to pour that into our mixing glass. There we go. 2 ounces and wasted just a little bit. And here we go. 2 ounces of rye whiskey in our mixing glass. Like I said, you use your favorite kind of whiskey. Doesn't have to be rye. The next thing we're going to add is our sweet, which in this case is our simple syrup. I'm going to use 1 bar spoon of this simple syrup. Now I just made this simple syrup the other day. I made it rich simple syrup, which is 2 times the sugar to the water. 2 parts sugar to water. And this stuff is thick with 3 C's. So it takes a second to get this pouring. And when it starts, you'll see what I mean. Look at that. It's trying. Come on, guys. Come on. Oh, there we go. Yep. Look at that. Look how thick that is. I am probably going to dilute that a little bit. That's a little thick for my taste. So we got our whiskey. We got our simple syrup. Now we're going to add our bitters. And we're going to add 2 dashes of this. Be careful with this stuff, because a little bit of bitters goes a long way. 1, 2. Well, I'm going to put another one because that wouldn't get all the way in there. There we go. Alright, so we got our whiskey, we got our simple syrup, and we got our bitters. Now, this is where I depart from a lot of people. Most people would take a slice of orange, a twist of orange peel, and squeeze the orange oil into the drink right before they drink it. I do mine a little different. I like to take my microplane here and I like to put orange zest in there. And you got to be careful that you don't get down in that pithy part. But I just like to put a little bit of orange zest in there. And be careful because it'll get stuck on the inside of your plane. So scrape it off with your finger, tap it in there, lay your orange to the side, and now we're going to add a piece of ice. Now, these pieces of ice are pretty big, so I'm going to try to break this into a smaller piece using the back of my bar spoon. There we go. There we go. And now we're going to gently stir it. Now, I say gently stir it because you don't want to stir it too much, because you really don't want to dilute it any more than you have to. Okay, stirred it up. Now we are going to take our rocks glass. We are going to add another ice cube. And we are going to double strain this into our drinking glass. Ooh. Lightning fast reflexes. I feel like Neo on the Matrix. All right. So here we go. We're going to strain this into our drinking glass. And the reason for the second strainer is to get that orange zest, catch any of that tries to make it into our cocktail. Okay. So now we got it strained into our mixing glass. Yeah, and you can see that orange zest on the inside of the mixing glass. So we got it strained into our drinking glass. And now it's time for the garnish. What I like to do to garnish this is I like to get a good piece of orange peel here. And I like to use my knife, piece of ice under there, and cut it into a long strip. Get rid of those pieces. Then I like to take a toothpick. You can use a cocktail skewer if you have them. I just happen to have toothpicks. Now stick it through the top. Then I'm going to grab a couple of these Moonshine Cherries just to kick it up a notch or two, as Emerald Lagasse would say. I'm going to grab a couple of these Moonshine Cherries. Most people just use regular maraschino cherries, but I always got to do something a little extra. I put one through there like that. Put it in there, see the garnish, and then I drop it in my cocktail. And there you have it, folks. That is an old-fashioned, done a little differently probably than you've ever seen it done before. But that's what it looks like. See if I can get it up here where the camera can get a good look at it. Just like that. All right, now we're going to see how it tastes. Oh my. My. That is tasty. That is really good. This drink reminds me of a drink you would have when you're sitting by the fire, cold winter's night, reading a good book. That's what this makes me want to do. I really like this drink. It's not overly sweet. The rye really comes out. And there's just enough of the bitters in there to cut the sweetness of the simple syrup, and it ends up being very well balanced. And there's just enough of that orange that comes through to really set it off. So this is a good drink. It's easy to make. It is very spirit forward, if you will. The rye or whatever your spirits are, they really come through in this. But this is not a drink for the faint of heart. It doesn't take many of these to go a little too far. So just be careful when you're drinking these. They go down really smooth and they're really strong. That's your old fashioned, folks. I want to remind you to go follow me on Instagram. Trying to get my Instagram built up over there. If you make any cocktails, especially any cocktails that I've made on the show, please tag them with the hashtag #TheDrinkingJ so I can see them. And I want to remind everybody, always drink responsibly. Try to support your local family-owned liquor store, and always try to drink from local breweries and distilleries when you can. Thanks for watching the old-fashioned episode. Leave me some comments down below. Let me know what you thought about the episode. Also, all the stuff I used in today's video will be linked down below on Amazon. If you could go over there, check that stuff out. It'll help me out a little bit. And I'm going to finish this off. Happy drinking, folks.